Rimuru and Ultima goes to One Piece, Rimuru and Ultima x One Piece, by Veldanava-God. Chapter 30. A new general emerges. The sun was barely over the horizon when the armies of Rimuru and Ultima gathered in the central square of Veldoria Island. After a year of intense growth and training, their forces had swelled to double their previous size. Soldiers stood in rigid formation, their armors glinting under the early morning light, eager and curious about the reason behind this sudden assembly. Rimuru stepped forward, his presence commanding the attention of everyone present. Ultima stood beside him, her aura equally intimidating and regal. The air was thick with anticipation, as the two Yonku leaders prepared to deliver an announcement that would shake the island to its core. Soldiers. Rimuru's voice echoed through the square. In the past year, our army has grown stronger, more capable, and more fearsome. We've conquered the remains of Whitebeard's territories, expanded our influence, and proven ourselves to be the dominant force of the New World. The crowd erupted into cheers, their roars of approval filling the air. Rimuru raised a hand, silencing them almost immediately. But today, he continued, we're not just celebrating our past victories. Today marks the beginning of a new chapter for our army, for our empire. Today, we introduce a new general who will help lead us to even greater heights. Ultima stepped forward, a small smile playing on her lips. Allow me to introduce you to the one who will help lead our forces from this day forward, Tessa Horizon. At Ultima's words, a figure appeared from the shadows behind them. Tessa Horizon stepped into the light, her silver eyes scanning the crowd, as if reading each soldier's thoughts in an instant. She was a slender, yet deadly woman, dressed in a dark, form-fitting outfit that enhanced her agility and stealth. Her white hair cascaded down her shoulders, a stark contrast to her otherwise menacing appearance. The air around her seemed to buzz with energy, her observation hawky sharp and perceptive, making those closest to her shift uncomfortably. Tessa walked forward and stood between Rimuru and Ultima, her expression calm and calculated. Thank you for this honor, Tessa began, her voice soft but clear. I pledge my loyalty to you both, Rimuru-sama and Ultima-sama. I will lead your army with precision, and I will ensure that any threat to our empire is extinguished before it even has the chance to act. The soldiers watched her with a mix of awe and curiosity. Tessa had a reputation that preceded her. Known for her mind-no-mi ability, she could read the thoughts of her enemies and allies alike, a skill that made her nearly unbeatable in strategy and combat. Additionally, her mastery of advanced observation haki made her one of the deadliest assets in Rimuru and Ultima's army. Kalis Drakenshade, the other general, stood nearby, his arms crossed over his broad chest. Looks like we've got another powerful ally, he murmured to Sylphira Nightfang, who was leaning against a nearby wall. Sylphira chuckled, her icy blue eyes glinting mischievously. She's good. But let's see if she can keep up with the two of us. The battlefield isn't kind to those who hesitate. Kalis grinned. I have a feeling she won't be hesitating. Her mind-reading ability alone will make sure of that. Back in the center of the square, Tessa bowed slightly to Rimuru and Ultima. I am ready to serve. We know you are, Ultima responded, her voice firm but warm. But strength is not given freely in this world. You've earned your position as a general through your power, your intelligence, and your loyalty. We expect nothing less than greatness from you. Understood, Tessa replied, her face a mask of calm determination. The soldiers cheered once again, welcoming their new general into their ranks. The sound was deafening, and Rimuru allowed it to go on for a moment before raising his hand for silence once more. We have much work ahead of us, Rimuru continued. But now, with Tessa by our side, our army is stronger than ever. Let our enemies tremble in fear, knowing that we are unstoppable. The army erupted into cheers again, their loyalty to Rimuru and Ultima unwavering. They knew that under their rule, and with generals like Kalis, Sylphira, and now Tessa, they were on the path to absolute dominance in the New World. 14 days passed after Tessa had officially assumed her role as general. The impact of her presence was felt immediately. Training sessions were more intense, and her sharp ability to anticipate enemy movements made her a force to be reckoned with. Soldiers under her command learned quickly not to hide anything, as her mind-no-mi fruit saw through every deception and thought. One evening, as Tessa was sparring with a few soldiers, Kalis approached her, arms crossed, watching the battle with mild interest. Not bad, he commented as she effortlessly dodged a barrage of attacks. But I'm curious. Do you even need to read their minds to beat them? Tessa smirked, not even breaking a sweat. I don't need to, but it certainly makes things more efficient. Kalis chuckled. Efficient, huh? I like that. But you better not rely on it too much. People can be unpredictable. True, Tessa replied, landing a precise blow that knocked her opponent to the ground. But you're forgetting. I'm not just reading their thoughts. I'm reading their intentions. And that is a much more reliable tool. Kalis raised an eyebrow, impressed. You'll do well here. 2 weeks after Tessa's promotion, news reached the island of Veldoria that shook the world. Tessa was in the middle of a meeting with Rimuru and Ultima when a marine seagull flew overhead, dropping a fresh stack of newspapers. Sylphira, standing nearby, caught one of the papers and quickly scanned the headline. Her eyes widened with surprise, and she couldn't help but laugh. Tessa, you might want to take a look at this, Sylphira said, tossing the paper over to her. Tessa caught it mid-air, her eyes scanning the bold headline. New General of YONKOU Rimuru and Ultima. Tessa Horizon, Bounty. 1,032,000,000 berries. She raised an eyebrow, slightly surprised by the figure. $1 billion already? Kalis let out a low whistle. Looks like you're in the big leagues now. Sylphira smirked, crossing her arms. Well, that puts you above the 1 billion mark, just like me and Kalis. You're one of us now. Congratulations, Tessa, Rimuru said, his voice calm and measured. It seems the world has taken notice of your power. Ultima smiled approvingly. This is just the beginning. The higher your bounty, the more enemies you'll attract. You're a general now, and that means more responsibility. Tessa nodded, folding the newspaper neatly. I understand. I'll be ready for whatever comes next. Sylphira couldn't resist a playful jab at Kalis. Looks like I still has the highest bounty out of all of us. Kalis rolled his eyes. By a slim margin, Sylphira. Still counts, Sylphira teased. Before their banter could continue, Rimuru stood from his seat, silencing them both with a glance. Enough. We have more pressing matters than bounties. We need to strengthen our hold on the new world. Now that the world knows Tessa is one of our generals, we'll likely see an increase in resistance from those who seek to challenge our rule. Ultima nodded. Let them come. We'll crush anyone who dares to oppose us. Tessa, her face serious, looked at Rimuru and Ultima. I'll make sure no one can touch us. I'll read every enemy's mind before they can even think of a plan. Rimuru smiled slightly. That's what I'm counting on. The meeting ended with the weight of their responsibilities hanging in the air. As they left the room, Tessa walked beside Sylphira and Kalis, the three of them now united in their goal to serve their rulers and protect their empire. Tessa couldn't help but smile to herself. With her new title, her bounty, and her place as general, she knew that the days ahead would be challenging. But with Rimuru, Ultima, and her fellow generals by her side, she felt more than ready to face whatever came next.